Okay, guys. All right. Just want to make sure this is all set up. But hey, I am Elle Martinez, the creator and host of Couple Money. And I'm here today to talk to you about 4 tools and ways you can teach your kids about money. I think you agree that money is definitely not the most important thing, but learning how to manage it wisely, how to spend, save, and give is an important skill to have. And if you're a parent, you want to make sure that your kids, before they leave the house, are prepared. There's a couple tricky parts, though. One, money seems to be boring, or the way we approach money and talking about money. Now, on the podcast, we go and interview couples that have done some tremendous things like pay off 6 figures of debt, retire early, travel the world. And their stories are very interesting. But how do you convey that to your kid? So I have 4 tips. The first one is you introduce money from their perspective. Yeah, I know we want to jump into like, you need to save for retirement, you know, paying bills, and you don't want to live paycheck to paycheck. And while that is an important, conversation to have or topics to go over, you really want to approach it from their perspective. And with kids, I think you want to start with what interests them. What is really of importance to your kid? Are they into robotics? Are they artsy? Music? Do they love to travel? Is there a program, maybe lessons, something that they can do that they can save up for? And that's how you can start introducing money, because again, money isn't necessarily the goal. It's just a tool to get you there. And so when you start talking about money in a sense of, okay, you want to do this summer program with robotics, great. Let's see how much it costs. And it's a couple $100. Sit down with your kid and start coming up with a plan. And these are like very rudimentary things. You don't even have to use the word budget, but how can we save up for it? And when you start seeing it from a perspective of what we can do with money, I think it's easier to have those conversations with your kids. And so you can start saving up for it. They can save their allowance money. If they have extra work, either in the house or in the neighborhood, that's money they can put in. You can match that money and put that in towards that. And that's teaching them hard work, the value of putting a little skin into the game instead of you always paying for everything. Maybe you can match it. And if you're looking for a tool that makes it easy, I highly recommend Goal Setter. I discovered this recently. We did a workshop about teaching kids and money, and Goal Setter makes it easy as, setting up an account for your kid so they can start saving for what matters to them. And if you have friends and family, instead of getting stuff and gifts, maybe they can chip in. I think they would love to. Can you imagine grandparents chipping in for robotics class or art classes, or, some goal that matters to your little one? And no matter what that age, they can get those concepts pretty early. We have a 6-year-old and she is saving up for a Power Wheel. She actually has enough money. And so she's shopping around to find the best deal. So when you engage them on their level, what matters to them, instead of opening up with, well, you need a budget, or, you don't want to live paycheck and retirement, it doesn't matter to them. It's overwhelming, it's boring, and you're not going to engage them. So that's my first tip and first tool. The second one is, believe it or not, play games with your kids. Make money fun. And no, I'm not just talking about Monopoly. There are a lot of games out there that you can play with your kids. One that my 6-year-old enjoys is Cash Crunch games. It's designed for kids 7 to 12. Well, she's a little younger, but it's really a short game. You're talking about 20 minutes, but it starts teaching them very important lessons like saving up, watching their spending, because spending isn't bad per se. That's something that I appreciate with this game, is that it shows that there's some good things that you can spend on. Things, sure, yes, you can save up for things, but maybe you want to spend on a gift for a friend or a family member. This game teaches that. And you're making money fun. You're making the conversation about money a lot less intimidating. And that's absolutely crucial. So that's the second one. The third step is that you want to make money a family discussion. I know for a lot of couples, money wasn't always a topic that was discussed openly. Maybe you only heard about it when things were tight and bills weren't getting paid and there was a question of how we're going to cover for this, or maybe they just didn't talk about it at all and you really never realize what it took to get the things that you had. Those aren't great situations to be in. If you want to break that habit, if you want to make money less stressful, less intimidating, you want to have your kids be more money savvy, it has to be a family effort. So, sit down. Yes, I know allowances are a popular topic, but also discuss other things. Again, saving for a goal that matters to them. You can talk about investing as they get older. Little by little, you introduce these topics instead of overwhelming them, and then money becomes more comfortable to talk about. And if they have a problem, they'll come to you because they're not scared, they're not embarrassed. And as parents, I know we don't want to see our kids fail, but it's so much better for them to make these mistakes now when they're in your house, and they're relatively small mistakes with money, than to leave your house and make these huge mistakes and get into over their heads with debt. So start taking care of these things now. Make it a family discussion. Maybe do a family budget weekly, talking about what you're going to do over the weekend. As they get older, talk about the monthly family budget and the goals. But I know it can be difficult keeping track, especially if you have more than one kid, everything and every one that's going on. So one of my tools that we use and love is FamZoo. And this basically makes family banking a breeze and a snap to manage. You can track allowances. You can also, like I mentioned, teach them about investing. You can do a simulated stock market, show them, okay, well, if you invested in this, look how it grows, or look how you could be doing with your money for the future. And when you start with small things and then build from there, you're really giving them tools to start making smart decisions with their money. And finally, the last one is the future. Have them start planning and preparing for the future. So yes, once they have the basics and you start having those conversations, you do want to, sooner rather than later, talk about the future. And for some, it's going to college or trade school. You have to have a marketable skill. Employment is going to be even more competitive as our kids get older and there's competition globally, but within different markets. So have them avoid or minimize having student loan debt by saving up for college. And one of the great tools that I see out there that makes it so easy to save in a college fund is College Backer. You can get started. It's very simple. And again, this is something that your friends and family can chip in. They would love to contribute. Think about this. Your kid comes home with a great report card. Grandma or your aunt, your friend saying, I'm going to match you based on your grades. A little bit here and there goes a long way. So guys, I hope this helps you start making money conversations a normal part of your routine. Make money not intimidating, not the goal, but a tool to build a life that your family values, around your family values, and that could help your kid make smarter, better, and more generous decisions with their money. As always, if you have any questions, please ask. Just email me at l@couplemoney.com. And if you're watching this on YouTube, subscribe to the channel. I'll have many more tips to help you guys manage your money together as a team. Thanks. Take care.